Coming to you from Keiko Studios, it's The Balcony Show with Ann Thatcher, Bo Summer, Mike Roy, Donna DeLucci, and me, the Mad Cat. We have searched the globe for the best in indie music so you don't have to. So here we go, The Balcony Show.
Friends in faraway places, sent with love and good vibes. Just keep an eye out for just what's coming. It might be a surprise.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Balcony Show, your number one source for independent music.
Number one.
Coming up on today's show, we have, how would you describe him, Mad Cat? Because he was kind of giving me a hard time earlier. How would you describe
the genre?
Oh, Southern rock. Southern rock and country.
Yeah. And really, really like, his name is Andrew Chappell, and I think you're going to dig his vibe. I think you're going to dig what he's putting down.
Woo! That sounds a little sassy.
I like to put down what I'm digging. You're welcome.
So Taylor Swift there's a Taylor Swift storm going on.
Evidently, yes.
Yeah, she's selling out everywhere. Stadiums everywhere.
Good for her.
Yeah.
You know, I think you kind of have to feel that way. In this day and age, I mean, we're the generation of arena rockers.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Artists who sold massive stadiums out annually. And that's kind of a thing of the past. I mean, these guys are selling out smaller stadiums, but, selling out the big grand stadiums is no easy feat. And if she's doing it.
You know what? I love what she's doing. I love that she took back her power. I love that she took back her music.
I think that is.
And I think that's what people are behind, in all honesty.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to, because they're going to say, no, you're not going to do that to our girls. So
Great.
good
You guys just ruined my indie radar for this week.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
Hell yeah.
But you did, but whatever.
Honestly, I mean, how many years are we doing this now? It's the first time we stepped on your drag. That's awesome.
Without even knowing.
Yeah, right. You're welcome.
Anyways.
That's what we're here for,
Thanks.
But first,
oh yeah. See, I love but first, because I mean,
really?
But first, I mean, if I can find the button and I'm blind, there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Useless facts. Facts that are freaking useless.
up on the dark web again.
Oh, boy.
I don't pre-read these things, ladies and gentlemen. I don't get them. Ann hands them to me at the minute of our recording.
Yeah.
And then I flip my page over and I don't look at it. Just so it grabs me like it grabs you. And sometimes it's extremely uncomfortable. And now I'm looking down. I don't know whether it's comfort or not, but the first thing I see is a sloth fart doesn't stink. And, obviously that is useless fact number one. Let's go on to see. A sloth's gut produces methane, but instead of being released out of its bum in the usual humorous, stinky way, the methane is absorbed into the blood. So there's absolutely no point in blaming a bad smell on these slow-moving mammals. They could let off all they want, and you'd be none the wiser.
See?
Wow.
So they have methane-infused blood.
Did you know that?
And
That's why they move so slow.
But I'm thinking that would be like nitrous oxide. You know what I mean?
You would think it would be the opposite. They would move fast.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just hit
Very
the button.
interesting. Never knew that.
No, neither did I.
In other news, ladies and gentlemen, sloths are now doubling as an explosive.
Sloth bombs.
That's because methane is explosive. All right. Thank you, listeners. Okay, great job. All right. Useless fact number 2. The Eiffel Tower gets taller in the summer. That's what she said. Due to a process, what boffins?
What?
It says boffins right there. Due to a process, what boffins? Many boffins died to make this movie.
I just copied it, man.
Due to a process, what boffins would call thermal expansion.
Boffins.
Again, that's what she
who's
said.
a boffin?
I don't know. We ought to look that up.
The Paris landmark gains a few centimeters in the hot water. Well, of course not. There's no shrinkage. The heat
my
from the
goodness.
sun makes the metals used to stretch ever so slightly. But in the winter, it returns to its original height. Well, of course, shrinkage in the cold. Come on now.
Yeah, but who would have ever
Skin,
known? Why
metal.
would you
The
ever
Eiffel
think that?
Tower. That's
But
interesting.
in all honesty, you could apply this to literally everything.
sure.
Yeah.
But
You
I
know.
guess you don't
But I'm
think about it when
curious.
it's a landmark.
The
you know?
question begs how big or how much taller or bigger?
Centimeters. Centimeters.
whatever.
It said centimeters.
You're not interested in this anymore, Bob, right?
Every little bit counts.
8 inches are better.
Just mere
Every little bit
inches,
counts.
those mere centimeters.
I only want to know if it's 8 inches or better.
It's like the little engine that could. I'm just saying.
I think Mad Cat's taking this a little
Google.
personal.
1 inch is how many centimeters?
Really?
Oh, 2.5 centimeters.
She's Googling this, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't. My brain.
Like, you
I'm
know,
just curious.
we here in the States, we don't use the metric system, like,
We don't.
ever. But, I mean, I do because I do carpentry, but I have all the little giveaway numbers, which my brother absolutely hates. You know, when are you going to learn how to read that thing? I don't know. I don't have to. It just tells me what I need to know right here. All right, so we're going to move right along. Number 3. Mail was once delivered by 37 cats in Belgium. What? How the hell did you get cats to do such a task? All right, because I don't know any. These domestic cats were trained to deliver mail in the city of Liège. Waterproof bags containing letters were tied around their necks and then were driven out into the countryside, miles away from their homes, and let go. They all made it home within 24 hours. Ultimately, the scheme was abandoned as it was easier to deliver the mail yourself than rely on a cat. Exactly. I mean, cats have other things to do, especially along the way. They got to catch that mouse. They got to catch that bird.
They're busy.
Cats have
They're
other
busy.
things to do.
They got to lick themselves for a little bit, you know, and then,
Going on.
then they
Yeah.
got to take a nap.
See, Mad Cat knows about cats.
Mad cat, you know, what's up? All right, let's just move along. Number 4, the average yawn lasts 6 seconds. Yeah. Humans also yawn on an average of 20 times per day. So in total, that's 120 seconds or 2 whole minutes you spend yawning each day. I'm yawning right now. Yawning is contagious, which is so fun to see. It's true. So even reading this and thinking about yawning might make you yawn. You're welcome, ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
really the truth.
It is true.
It is because
Yeah.
you get the urge to want to yawn.
Oh yeah.
When we were kids, we used to call it playing witchcraft. We would do that. We would just go into a room, with people in it, and then we would just like start fake yawning, just to see how many other people in the room start catching on. It's like I cast a spell. Put a spell
devious.
on you.
Very devious, but cute.
Aw, thank you. Aw. She made me a little thing that says Mad Cat Rock. She ain't lying. All right, so let's see where we at here. Number 5 and the last one. Thousands of rabbits once attacked Napoleon in honor of the new Joaquin Phoenix movie Napoleon coming out. Let's learn about these foul rodents of unusual peckish power. 8 years before Waterloo, another humiliating defeat for Napoleon. Wow, just got to throw that in there, zinger. He was beaten by a barrage of bunnies. He was signing a treaty when the rabbits, who had been captured, were released to be hunted. Instead of running away, they attacked their would-be hunters, including Napoleon, who was forced to flee. Run away! Run away! So I guess, that's the last useless fact there, Ann.
But who knew about rabbits? Did you know about the rabbit attack on Napoleon?
I did not know
It
about
was not in my history books.
No.
So
Could you
now
imagine? Could you imagine being a teenager and you're just sitting there, you just got all blazed up, and you're sitting there in history
You're in
class,
history class.
And they want to start telling you about bunny rabbits attacking freaking
Napoleon.
at
A
Waterloo.
barrage of bunnies.
Oh my god.
I mean, to the point that it retreated, there had to be a lot of rabbits
Yeah.
there.
Well,
You're getting to be a rabbit.
for
listen.
for a hunt, I'm sure they'd have to be releasing a lot. Yeah, that'd be a lot of rabbits. I mean, definitely not my kind of bunny attack, but
But you know what? Good for the bunnies. I stand with the bunnies.
Stand with the bunnies.
Because you know what? They turned on him, and they were
Sure,
they
stand
refused,
with the foul rodents.
they refused to be hunted. I actually had a pet rabbit.
I did too.
His
So did I.
name was Alexander Graham Bunny, and he used to get up.
That's cute.
He used to hop up on my bed and wake me up in the morning by thumping his foot. He was really a cool rabbit. He was a Dutch.
We used to eat them growing up.
That's a whole nother story.
Oh, they're good eating. They taste so good. Them little bunnies.
Oh,
Little bunnies, they taste great. Get in my belly.
That's it. I'm done with you. That's it.
Yeah, till next week's torture.
Anyways, we're going to get things started tonight with the song by one of our favorites here, Matt D. Hard Luck Americana. And the name of the song is Jericho Gap. One of our favorites, right, Matt Cat?
Absolutely.
So take a listen, and we'll be right back.
Hey, folks, you're listening to The Balcony Show, and right now we have the first song from tonight's interviewee with Andrew Chappell. So the song is called Loneliness and Whiskey, two of my favorite things. Give it a listen. When you come back, we're going to have Andrew on the line, and apparently our ladies in here are going to be swooning. So, yeah, give it a listen.
Charging harder as I reach to touch your face. Feel like there ain't no one else around, and I got no good reason to be stuck here in this place. Loneliness and whiskey keep me down, and I can't understand why I keep coming back for more. I'll never know the reason that you locked that door. Hurting my intentions doesn't cut it anymore. where you'll never cross my mind. Wait till tomorrow, when the whiskey's all gone dry, and I'll hide in a memory, so you'll never see me fall. 'Cause the whiskey ain't working at all. Talk is cheap, but I'll keep buying time and time again. I really don't know what else I can do. We'll go round in circles and we'll wrestle with our sin. Loneliness and whiskey says you knew. I can't understand why I keep coming back for more. I never know the reason that you lock that door. I'll ride across the desert, where you never cross my mind. And I'll wait till tomorrow, where the whiskey's all gone dry. And I'll hide in the memory, so you'll never see me fall. 'Cause the whiskey ain't working at all.
Whether he's performing in his band Bitterroot Revival or he's doing his solo music, you're going to want to get his music. We are super excited because we have Andrew Chappell on the phone to talk about his latest single, Quittin' Time, and a little bit of his album, Loneliness and Whiskey. So welcome to the show, Andrew.
Well, thank you very much.
So our listeners just heard the song Loneliness and Whiskey, which is the title track from your album. I really love the guitars in the front of this. How did you come up with that? How did that come about, Andrew?
That guitar riff,
Yes.
I was actually visiting my sister in Spokane, and she was away at work, and I was just kind of beating that song up, trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And as I was sitting there noodling around in my head, that riff just kind of fell out, and thought that fit pretty good, so I might as well keep it. I ain't coming up with anything better.
And the song Loneliness and Whiskey, I'm hoping that that's not directly about yourself, but you know.
Well, I can't think of two things that go better together. No. That's one of those songs that, you know, you write a song and sometimes it just falls out of your face before you know what you said. And then you turn around and look at it to try to figure out what you just wrote.
So is that how music writing happens for you? Does it just come to you?
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it's like I'm trying to transcribe a song I'm hearing in my head.
Okay.
And then sometimes it don't. It's, you know, something
Sometimes
else.
it's a labor.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to work for it.
Oh my goodness.
But every once in a while you get one of them gifts. So as I'm going through that song, I figure out that song is about what it feels like to struggle with addiction.
Okay.
I don't know that whiskey is necessarily the addiction of choice in that, but it sure rhymed good with stuff. So we kept that in the lyric.
You know, you have a great radio voice. Not only do you have a great singing voice, but you have a great radio voice. I got to say that.
Here we go. Here we go. This is how it starts, Andrew.
Oh no!
They hear your deep voice, and next thing you know, it's followed by swooning and cackling.
I don't know what to say to that, Andrew, other than I'm
We're
innocent.
swooning a little
Well,
here
I
behind
tell
the
you, you
mic.
probably ought to just cackle.
Yeah, there you go.
That seems to be the prescribed format.
Oh
yeah.
man,
That's a
Mad
great
Cat,
sense
I
of
think
humor.
you've made a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing I did notice about your music is that you tend to stretch. It's not, you can't call it just country, like Southern rock, and you can't just call it country. And you just, I hear pop in there. There's a lot of flavors to your music. Is that because of, is that intentional, or is that something that, as you grew, you're just changing, or why? Can you answer that? Why?
Oh man, if I knew why. I've had a lot of people tell me it don't matter what I sing, it's going to sound country. But I was raised with so many different influences as far as music. I mean, I list in our home, there was always music on of some sort, and I just thought that was normal. We'd watch a lot of like the old musicals from the 50s, and that was just a normal thing. And so I was never beholden into any one genre when I was listening to music, or my family was raised on everything from Southern gospel to Barry Manilow.
But you can hear that in your music. I hear that. I hear it's not, that was one of the reasons that made my ears perk up and say, wait a minute. First of all, it was your vocals. I love your vocals on all of the tracks. But the thing that drew me really in, it was the vocals that drew me in, but what kept me there was the fact that there's this kind of a mix going on. And I like that it's something new, something different. Maybe not new to you, but to me as a listener and somebody that's going through a lot of music, I find when I hear something that perks my ears up like that, then I want to know more about it.
Sure. Well, and that's the actual definition of an influence, right?
Right.
It's something that has kind of shaped you and shaped the way that you do things and what you have considered to be normal, even if it's just in your own head. And that stuff comes out when you're not trying to conform to any one thing.
Which brings me to Quittin' Time, which is your new single. Fantastic. It's kind of a ride. This is like you're in a car, I'm driving, or it's the end at I've been a bartender, we have a bartender here. You know what I mean? The quitting time or quitting time from a job. Tell us about Quittin' Time.
I wanted to write this song. I wanted to write a song that could kind of capture that feeling. I worked construction back in Texas when I lived there for years and years and years. And that feeling of when you finally sit in the car and drive home and you can grab that beer, you can grab that drink. And just that sense of, it's almost like an escapism kind of a thing, right? It's a duality in your daily existence. You got this professional life, and then you got this life at home. I'm gonna go grill some burgers and kick around on my guitar and do whatever.
Oh man.
Amen to that. Amen to
And
that.
you try to keep that stuff as separate as you can.
Egad. So what is quitting? Is that what quitting time is for you? A barbecue grill and, a beer?
Well, sometimes it is. Just about a year ago, I got laid off with several other folks from a pretty big corporate company. And it was one of those deals that kind of pushed me off the cliff of, hey, I like doing music. Why don't I just do this instead?
Okay.
And
well, glad you did.
Well, and there's part of that too, right? Quitting that whole rat race and just jumping off of it.
Let us take a break here, and we're going to let our listeners hear this great song, Quittin' Time by Andrew Chappell, and we'll be right back with the rest of the interview.
Climbing above the end of the long day, it's quitting time. little bullet right, it'll be alright. So go ahead, reach for the good stuff, that'll be just fine. A little peace of mind, it might last all night. So pour a stiff drink, it's all I need to get me over the last bump and on to the next one. Don't stop until you get to the bottom. Line them up, go on and raise your cup to the start of another extended weekend. Now it's quitting time, we'll go off the deep end. A couple of weeks for a hard-earned heartache, wanna get away, but every word you say is colder than before. Best girl with the worst of intentions, a long kiss that she forgot to mention. The staring at the clock is daring me to hit that door. So pour a stiff drink, it's all I need to get me over the last bump and on to the next one. But don't stop until you get to the bottom. Line them up, go on and raise your cup to the start of another extended weekend. Now it's quitting time, we'll go off the deep end. Maybe it won't take too very long, 'cause baby, it gets lonely when you're wrong. Well, Monday morning's coming on real fast. Go on and give it hell and make the weekend last. Pour a stiff drink, it's all I need to get me over the last bump and on to the next one. Don't stop until you get to the bottom. Line them up, go on and raise your cup to the start of another extended weekend. Now it's quitting time, we'll go off the deep end.
Hey, folks, we are listening to The Balcony Show, and we have Andrew Chappell on the line. So, Andrew, tell our listeners what you have planned in the future as far as touring, playing out, new songs, new album ideas.
Well, man, that's a whole big stacked list of things to talk about. I'm always writing, always thinking about what can I write and record next? What can my next album be? I've got about a dozen songs that I'm currently working on getting put down, recorded, to hopefully get something released at the beginning of the year. I'll kind of trickle out some singles over the next several months.
Nice.
But as far as touring right now, I've been staying really close to home and just working as hard as I can. Played 2, 3, sometimes 4 shows a week. But my hopes are next year to actually begin spreading out regionally. I have this terrible ADHD affliction. And so I ended up booking pretty much this whole year by the end of March, and then realized I wasn't going anywhere.
Hell yeah.
It worked out pretty good, I guess.
I love love the laid back vibe, though. I appreciate that.
Really, he could.
That's great.
Anytime you're in Pennsylvania, you make it out here. You got to come be on the show with us.
Yeah,
we absolutely want to have you in our guest chair for sure.
Absolutely. I'll walk through the grocery store with you. It'll be a fun night.
Don't encourage her, Andrew.
She's gonna leave you a plane ticket at the airport.
So the final song that our listeners are going to hear from you tonight is Over You. Can you talk a little bit about that, Andrew?
Yeah, that's actually my favorite song on that whole record. And the only reason I put it on the record is because it's my favorite song, so I had to stick it on the end. That song, so when I wrote that song, I was still working at my old job, and I'd work nights. I'd get home around midnight. And then, so, the whole family's, they're all in bed and asleep, and I'm sitting down at the kitchen trying to write songs. And this wonderful ADD affliction that I have just kind of makes your brain go scattered when you're trying to focus in on writing this song. So I wrote a song about it. The song's about trying to write a song while all this stuff is trying to grab your attention and pull you in different directions. And then it's, half of that song fell out of my face and half of it was, the 30 seconds of focus I got to enjoy when I started writing the song.
Wow. I would have never put that with that. Would have never put Over You with that kind of a thing,
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of people who could certainly identify with that. That's for sure.
What was so fun with that song was while I was recording it. So in the middle, and you'll hear it in a second. There's this part where I just sing the words "over you" over and over and over and over again. And that was never written down when I was writing the song. I was just standing in front of a hot mic while I'm recording vocals and just blurted it out. And then thought, wow, that's really cool. I'll keep it.
Well, listen,
so I did.
Listen, Andrew, I want to thank you for spending some time with us here on the show. Please, everybody, you're going to want to go out and get this album, Loneliness and Whiskey, his latest single, Quittin' Time. Follow Andrew. You can follow us on the show. If you have new singles, Andrew, we absolutely would love to play them here and give them some airtime. And I can't thank you enough for seriously spending some time with us here on the show.
Oh, I'm sure glad you'll let me come on. This is a lot of fun.
All right. With
Thank
that,
you.
I'm going to say goodnight to you. Take a listen to Over You by Andrew Chappell, and we'll be right back with the rest of the show.
Baby, every night I try to sit here and write with a pile of memories vying for time. So much joy, so much pain, so much waiting in the rain for just a kiss. There's nothing sweeter tonight. Oh. With the rising of the sun, well, I got nothing done, even though I got so much to sing about. I sing your name, and I swear I like the taste of your name in the back of my mouth. Well, the sun's coming up, and it's time to go to bed. It's the last thing that I want to do. I'd rather stay awake and roll around in my mistake and spend all my time exhausted over you. Over you. Over you. Over you. Once upon a time when all the words refused to rhyme, and I can't remember all that I said. I was so messed up when I thought I was so tough, but I can't get you out of my head.
Hey, folks, on today's Mad Cats Mad Tracks, we have the song Find Your People by Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. That's right, Find Your People. Apparently, I found mine, and they're all freaking crazy. So, give it a listen. Find Your People, Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. Here we go.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night. You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel whole. They won't leave your side when you lose control. The ones that don't let you lose your soul. You gotta find your people, the ones that get the joke, to understand what you're saying before a word is spoke. You gotta find your people that put the needle in the groove. When you're together, you got nothing to prove. When you're together, you got nothing to lose. In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go it alone, everybody needs help. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find your people that'll call your bluff, who'll ride along when the road is rough. You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel equal. They pick you up and don't put you down, help you find your way in the lost and found. In a world full of strangers, you don't know who to trust. All you see is danger, trying to find what you lost. You can't go it alone, everybody needs help. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. The ones that understand you, the ones that lend a hand to you, the ones that don't demand anything from you. You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, that tell you the truth and wish you well. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself. You gotta find your people, then you'll find yourself.
You are listening to The Balcony Show.
And now it's time for Indie Radar with Bo Summer.
So I'm jumping on the bandwagon here on this week's Indie Radar with Taylor Swift. So we mentioned earlier in the show, Taylor Swift is causing quite a stir, selling out stadiums, and whether you like her or not, you have to recognize what she's achieving. And actually, I give her mad props because she just re-recorded and is re-releasing her catalog on her own terms. And the whole point of my Indie Radar this week is good for her. She spreads positivity, whether you like her or not, whatever. That's not the point. But the point is that she really is blazing a trail. And I want indie artists to pay attention. Be careful and be mindful of what you're signing. Even if it's your neighbor wants to be, quote and unquote, a band manager, and you sign some kind of contract with some person that wants to manage you, you never know. That can actually stand in court one day and mean something monetarily damaging to you as an artist. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. Be mindful of what you are signing. Have maybe a second set of eyes. I know a lot of people can't afford a lawyer, but you never know. You might be able to hit up a law school and find a law student maybe to kind of help you figure out some things. And to add to this story, I just saw something come across my newsfeed. Aretha Franklin's kids. Did you read about that?
No.
Same thing. Like, be mindful what you're signing. Be careful what you put out there. That could be some kind of a legal binding document. I guess her kids were, I don't know if they were fighting each other in court, but it had something to do with disputing which version of her will was the right will, or what her intended will was, I guess, for her children and her legacy and, all her future financial earnings for her family. So that's kind of, you probably can just Google and read all about that. But again, be mindful of what you're signing and be careful and get some help before you sign on with anybody or anything.
And not everybody's your friend.
Especially not in this industry. Nope. We here at the balcony are. We'll play your music, but we're not going to mess you over,
Nope.
for money or anything like that. We support.
Absolutely. So thank you. Another great tip right here on Indie Radar. I'd like to remind you that the Balcony Show is proudly produced at Keiko Studios right here in Penn Argyl, Pennsylvania. So hit them up for all your musical production needs.
Welcome to another edition of Mike's Music Box. Inside, you're going to hear some stories of the macabre, the paranormal, and the strange. So stay tuned, if you dare.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Mike's Music Box. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the death of singer-songwriter Elliott Smith. Stephen Paul Smith, best known as Elliott Smith, was an American singer, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. Born in Omaha, Nebraska, raised primarily in Texas, and living most of his life in Portland, Oregon, where he first gained popularity as a famous singer-songwriter. Elliott Smith began using drugs and alcohol around the age of 14 when he moved in with his father in Portland, Oregon. After his high school graduation, Smith began calling himself Elliott. He thought Steve sounded too much like a jock name, and Steven sounded too bookish. Smith formed his first band called Heat Miser and played around the Portland, Oregon area in 1992. Elliott Smith started his solo career while in Heat Miser, and within the next 2 years, it created a distance between him and his band members. Ultimately, it led to the dissolution of the band, and at this point in his life, Stephen was a heavy drinker, also on antidepressants. In 1997, Elliott Smith was selected by director Gus Van Sant to be part of the Good Will Hunting soundtrack. With the help of composer Danny Elfman, he contributed an orchestra soundtrack as well as some new songs, especially one called Miss Misery. Because of the success of the film, Smith was then nominated for an Academy Award for Miss Misery. And on April 18th, 2000, Elliott Smith released his last album called Figure Eight. Around towards the end of the Figure Eight album and tour, Smith became addicted to heroin. His paranoia ensued during this time as he was believed to be followed by a white van plus other anomalies that cut him off from things that he was dealing with in real life and at that point in time. Elliott Smith died on October 21st, 2003 at the age of 34 from 2 stab wounds to the chest. At the time of the stabbing, he was at his home in Echo Park, California, where he lived with his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Chiba. According to the neighbors, the couple were fighting very loudly. She alleged that they were arguing and locked herself in the bathroom to take a shower. 5 to 10 minutes later, Chiba heard him screaming. Upon opening the door, she saw Smith standing there with a knife in his chest. She pulled the knife out, and afterwards he collapsed, and she called 911. At 12:18, Chiba performed CPR with the help of a dispatcher. Unfortunately, Smith died in the hospital at the time of his death, which was listed at 1:36 p.m. He left a suicide note where, at the end of it, his name was mysteriously misspelled. The coroner reported no traces of alcohol or illegal substances within Elliott Smith's body at the time of his death, but they did find traces of antidepressants. There were also no hesitation wounds, and to this day his case remains open as to whether it was a suicide or murder. Courtney Love of Hull called it the best suicide she had ever heard of. Killing yourself in this way is uncommon. Less than 4% of suicides from 2001 to 2002 were due to sharp force trauma, and those were generally wrist slashes. People performing this suicide would usually be kneeling or in a position to fall upon the blade, but the coroner deemed that Elliott Smith was actually standing when this had been done. The autopsy reports claim that there were also defensive wounds on his arms as well. Who knows what happened exactly to Elliott Smith the night that he died? His girlfriend Sheba was the only witness. There are so many conflicting stories surrounding his death, we may never know. Tune in next week for another episode of Mike's Music Box.
It's time for the spotlight portion of our show, where we showcase new singles from returning guests. And your host is Donna freaking Gallucci.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Spotlight. And we have a treat for our listeners today because we have Emily Noel on the phone with us to talk about her new music. Hey, Emily.
Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
Emily. How you doing?
I'm good. I miss you guys.
Oh, I know they all miss you too. I've never had the pleasure of meeting you, but I hope to in the very near future.
Emily,
and,
yes.
come out to see you play. So we're so excited here for the release of your new single, Red-Headed Rebel. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah. So I was inspired by the song. I actually wrote it last summer on the lake with my good friend Roy Lee, who's also from Pennsylvania. We met here in Nashville. And I was inspired by the song Wild as Horror by Corey Kent. And I just love that song so much. And it was just about not just being your own person and finding someone to love you the way that you are and not taming you. And so I was that's exactly where I'm at in life. I want to love and be loved, but I also don't want to be tamed down. And so I'm not your typical girl that's looking for the diamond ring and a white picket fence. I just kind of want to live life and find a partner to do that with and just still be crazy old me. So that's why I wrote Red-Headed Rebel. And I love the message that it spreads to women, that you don't have to want the normal things to be normal.
Right. That's a great message. And it was really great production on the album. Love the steel guitar on the song. I'm sorry.
I had some killer players on this song.
Yeah, really
They
cool.
always do a bang up job, and I'm always happy to have them be a part of my stuff.
That's awesome. Where can people go to find your music, Emily? And where on social media can we, keep up to date with what you're doing?
Yeah, so you can find it on all digital platforms. It's on Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, the normal suspects. You can also find it on YouTube Music. And the best place to find me on social media is Instagram and Facebook. I have a page. It's Emily Noel Music, EMILYNOEL like Christmas, MUSIC. And I'm more active on Instagram, so go on over and give me a follow, and you can see all my crazy adventures on my stories and what I'm doing here in Nashville and what I got going on.
So, Emily, do you have any upcoming dates where you'll be playing out live?
Yeah, so August is kind of light for us right now. We had a big month in July. So right now, the only date that we have is August 20th. We're playing at Roadside Bar and Grill in Hermitage. It's a Sunday from 4 to 7. We play there often and we love the crowd there. So if you are in the Nashville area, come on out. And as always, check in with my Facebook and my Instagram for any upcoming dates.
Sounds great. I'm sure everyone will do that. Thanks so much, Emily, for
Of
being here
course.
on our show, on the Balcony Show. We really appreciate it. Great talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Thank you. And everyone is now going to get to hear your song, Red-Headed
Yay!
Rebel by Emily Noel. Check it out.
Mama always told me, never worry about a man. You can get to where you're going if you don't really give a damn. Tail lights in the dust, leave driving this town in daddy's old truck. I don't know where I'm going, but I know when I get there, a white picket fence isn't in my plans. Just as happy living in a van. My roots are shallow and the river runs dry. Trying to make a dollar just to get by. I'm pretty wild and you can't blame me. You can love me but you can't tame me. Go my own way, but damn it I won't settle. I'm a red-headed rebel. Heart on the horizon, showing me where to go. Hair blowing in the wind, favorite song on the radio. My guitar sitting next to me, carrying all my hopes and dreams. I don't need no detour, 'cause I know what I'm looking for. A white picket fence isn't in my plans. Just as happy living in a van. My roots are shallow and the river runs dry. Trying to make a dollar just to get by. I'm pretty wild and you can't blame me. You can love me but you can't tame me. Go my own way, but damn it I won't settle. I'm a red-headed rebel. A white picket fence isn't in my plans. Just as happy living in a van. My roots are shallow and the river runs dry. Trying to make a dollar just to get by. I'm pretty wild and you can't blame me. You can love me but you can't tame me. Go my own way, but damn it I won't settle. I'm a red-headed rebel. I'm a red-headed rebel. A red-headed rebel.
And you're back on the Balcony Show. Thanks for sticking here with us and listening to some really great music. Thank you to Andrew Chappell for spending some time with us and sharing his music. Emily Noel, we wish you nothing but the best. You know we love you here at the show. And that's all I got, folks. Anything for you?
I got nothing.
Nothing for me.
I got nothing. I have my
I got
cigarette. I'm
nothing.
happy.
You can go to our Facebook page and give us a like if you like what we're doing. And all of the shows in the areas are tagged at the top of our page. So that's a good way to go and find out where we are. And so you can listen to one of these shows. And I think we all have another Reverb Nation campaign in the works. So I'll let you know about that when that happens. And
Cool.
if you have been on the show, please, I can no longer reach everybody. So, if you have new music, guys, come on, you got to get it to me. I can't play it if I don't have it. That's for sure. So that's it. That's all
Word.
I got.
Yeah.
What, now you got nothing?
I said before I got nothing. I literally announced I got nothing.
See, got them started. So we're going to end things tonight with a song from Gulfstream Riders. And the name of the song is Filling Canyons. So take a listen. Good night, everybody, from the Balcony Show. We'll catch you next week.
Good Lord help us.
Without the mud, there is no wilderness. Without the fall, no rise of spring. Without compassion, no understanding. The only two we all have to blame. I don't wanna go without. There's a feeling in canyons. I don't wanna see yours true in the way. I don't wanna go without. There's a feeling in canyons. like a North Korea. There's enough to maybe hear and serve a little good some way. I don't wanna go without. There's a feeling in canyons. I don't wanna see yours too in the way. I don't wanna go without. There's a feeling in canyons. Pretending someone else might take my burden. Without the mud, there is no loneliness. Without the fall, no rise of spring. Without compassion, no understanding. The only two we all had been.